teams.
Correct. One great on special teams, one great 5-on-5.
One great on special teams with a lot of speed throughout the lineup. They don't have the same speed because of some decisions that were made in the offseason, then a couple things that ended up happening. But they did add some character and some experience to it.
And a little speed with Kapanen. He gave them some of that speed back.
And Marcus Lato, his agent, was in Florida talking with Stan Bowman. I can tell you that. I don't know where those discussions went. But at the end of the day here, Florida back to their top 9. Jack, I'm going to have to look it up. Maybe you can ask your stats guru from the league when the last time 9 forwards had more than 15 points in the playoffs. Because there's no way the Oilers of the 1980s, as good as they were, with some of the highest scoring teams, the highest scoring team in playoff history back in 1985. There's no way they had 9 forwards of 15 plus points.
And we talk about this Edmonton club being the deepest of the McDavid era, and I believe it is.
I believe it'll be even deeper next year. But the problem is we got to get.
The Oilers have 4 with 15 points, just to illustrate your point.
Yeah, and so at the end of the day here, Edmonton. Tonight, it was Florida's night. The extra day, I think, helps the Edmonton Oilers right now. I really do. I think it helps the Oilers. I think their top-end guys look gassed, Jack. They played, I do, and you know what? You could even see it a bit in the reaction in overtime with Leon Draisaitl after he scored. He kind of, and it was a quick back-to-back. Florida's playing more guys, more minutes, distributing the minutes a little bit, that sort of 15 to 18 role. The Oilers are loading up 2 forwards, 20-plus minutes, and it's going to be a challenge here for the Oilers come on Tuesday night. Now, that said, all bets are off if you can get it back here for game number 7.
And the other thing is, and I think it must be stated, this is less about what Edmonton's not doing and more about the quality of opposition
100%.
at the other end of the ice.
They're good.
These two teams are very, very good teams, unquestionably the best in each conference. The problem with that is it means to win a Stanley Cup, your opposition is as good as you're going to ever see in your career. The Oilers, Connor McDavid could play the rest of his career and not see a tougher team in the final than what he's looking at across the ice from him in each of the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. Florida, a 5-2 victory tonight. Sergei Bobrovsky, the win. He ties a league record with his 10th victory on the road. He's 15-7 overall in the postseason.
Remember, they're only 5-4 at home, Jack.
Correct. And by the way, by the same token, look at the Edmonton Oilers on the road in this postseason. They're 7-4. I mean, they can play on the road. So again, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But you've got an Oiler club with a better road record than Florida's home record. Bottom line is, tonight was Florida's game. Bobrovsky the win. As Bob talked about it, the shot clock kind of told the story. Bobrovsky was able to settle in, stopped all 11 shots he faced in the first 2 periods.
We thought they needed to get to 30 shots at the end of the first.
And they got to 21.
And they got to 21. That's a tough way to win.
19 saves for Bobrovsky. Calvin Pickard charged with a loss, his first in this postseason, and just the second in 13 appearances he's made over the course of his Stanley Cup playoff career. Pickard will be charged with the defeat as he stopped 14 of 18. We expect Stuart Skinner to return to the pipes when Edmonton's season will be on the line in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. We'll have it for you again, 6:20 Mountain Time. For Paul Maurice, it's his 85th career playoff victory, and for Chris Knobloch, it's only the 3rd time in the back end of a series from Game 4 on, 3rd time in 22 games that he's tasted defeat, and 2 of those losses, you guessed it, the Florida Panthers, who've now outscored their opposition 61-31 away from home in compiling a 10-3 record. And from a Panther standpoint, they hope that was the last road game they've played this season. Game 6, Panthers 60 minutes away from a Stanley Cup. Oilers will be 60 minutes away from a Game 7 of the final at home back here on Friday night. Bob and I will talk to you Tuesday live from Sunrise, 6:20 Mountain Time puck drop. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Bryn Griffiths, and Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers Place. Your final score in Game 5, Florida 5, Edmonton 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame Show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Perry lets it go through to Bouchard. Right point on to Connor McDavid. A one-timer by Bouchard. Got through a save Bobrovsky. McDavid feeds Ekholm on to Bouchard. Steps up back to McDavid. To the net. Scores!
Made it 3-1 at that point. That's as close, really, as the Oilers got. That's the Century Casino Highlight Zone. All in and all games, all season. Century Casino, 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Florida, the better team tonight, and they take a 3-2 lead by virtue of a 5-2 victory. This is the Rogers Postgame Show.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
When it comes to your new home, nothing should stop you from getting exactly what you want. Coventry Homes puts your needs front and center. They won't dig past your questions about customization, and making changes won't get you sent to the penalty box. With their customizable designs and flexible options, your game-changing home is within reach. Score big with Flex Ability. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
No Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance goal a game. Health, dental, travel. We got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. The plus play of the night, Connor McDavid scoring to make it 3-1, was brought to you by Catelli Protein Plus. With the classic taste of Catelli and 17 grams of protein, it's the most delicious way to score with your taste buds on and off the ice. We bring aboard our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown, from the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Rob, it's this simple. Tonight, for the second game in this series, it cannot be denied. Vegas. They knocked off Florida 2 years ago in the Stanley Cup final. Florida won the Stanley Cup last year. And tonight, Florida again showed their championship medal. They learned the hard way, and they tanked a 3-0 home ice lead in game number 4. The Oilers found a way to come back and win. But there's no doubt that for the second time in this series, they elevated, and they were simply just better than Edmonton.
They were. 2 of the last 3 games, it hasn't been close. The Florida Panthers, when they take it to a different level, the Oilers haven't been able to match it. They started the series with all physicality. Now this game tonight and the game the other night that they won 6-1, just stifling defense. Not giving the Oilers any opportunities. No odd man breaks against. No second chances in front of their net. The Oilers superstars not having any room to breathe and being finished every time there's a chance to finish a check on them. This was, sitting with Mooner, we talked that this might have been the best road game that we have seen played here in Edmonton. The Florida Panthers did everything right in this hockey game, and at no time until probably the last, for about a minute and a half there when the Oilers were 6-on-5 within 2 goals, that was the only stress that the Florida Panthers faced all night long. This was a clinical game by the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, it is. All right. It's a given Skinner's going to start game 6. I think we know that.
I believe that as well, yes.
I think Kapanen's got to come back in for sure.
I was surprised he was taken out, so yep, 100%.
Okay. Do you put Klingberg in for
Yes,
Stecher?
I do. I think Klingberg had long stretches of being very good in the playoffs, and he had a couple hiccups, but I don't know if there's the trust factor with Stecher that you had with Klingberg. Klingberg was being played in all situations. I mean, there was no fear putting him out there.
Yeah.
I think you have to ice the best lineup that you can possibly ice. I think Klingberg right now is a better player than Stecher, and that's nothing against Stecher, but I think Klingberg, I would put him in the lineup.
All right, Rob, great stuff.
Sounds good, Bob.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today. You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 CHAD, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
All right, well, when you're playing in the Stanley Cup Final, there's no other NHL action going on. That's the update on the Pizza 73 out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73 and the Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance goal of the game. The Oilers they've won 2 overtime games. So we've had 3 great games in this series and 2 games where Florida just were simply better. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio. Florida were the better team tonight.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Chemco is more than just a trusted local name. Chemco has been building industry across Canada for more than 60 years. From engineering through to commissioning, construction, maintenance, and beyond, Chemco's multidiscipline approach stands firmly on the belief that Chemco cares. It's not just what they do, it's how they do it. Visit Chemco.com and discover how they can support your project today. Chemco, proud fans of the Edmonton Oilers, serving and supporting communities across Canada for over 60 years.
All right, to the Molson Cup 3 Stars, brought to you by Molson, the official beer of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Must be of legal drinking age. All Florida tonight. Bennett, playoff leading 15th goal. He's third star, and then 2 guys off their top line. These guys are their top line. Los Dorainen, a goal and an assist. Their third line just killed Edmonton right from the get-go. He's the second star. Brad Marchand is the first star with 2 goals. What a pickup by Bill Zito. The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL action games. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final goes Tuesday in Sunrise. For my play-by-play partners, Jack Michaels and Cam Moon, along with Rob Brown, Bryn Griffiths, Brendan Escott, studio producers, Eamon Hashem at the helm tonight, Kellen Kennedy, ace engineer Troy Bowler, Bob Stauffer saying so long from Rogers Place. Panthers, they were the better team from the get-go. They win 5-2, and they're now up 3-2 in the Stanley Cup Final.
The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, official beer of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Must be legal drinking age. And Rogers, proud partner and fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
To the net, backhander score!
This live play-by-play broadcast is intended for the private entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of the Oilers Entertainment Group is strictly prohibited. All games, all season. Exclusively on the Oilers Radio Network. The game is over when the horn sounds. The analysis ends when you say it does. This is Oilers Overtime. Oilers hockey is brought to you by the Butcher Shop at Friesen Brothers. And now, the Heartland Ford Oilers Overtime. Here's Bryn Griffiths and Rob Brown on the official voice of your Edmonton Oilers. 880 Chad.
Draisaitl, who mishandles for a moment, Nurse to the corner. Corey Perry, the extra attacker on. Draisaitl tried to center. That deflected up top. A drive score! Corey Perry cuts it to 4-2, and there's still more than 3 minutes left in this game. No one's leaving.
But it was too little too late tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, who drop a 5-2 decision to the Florida Panthers. And that gives Florida a 3-2 series lead heading home for the game on Tuesday night with a chance to win the Stanley Cup, their second in a row. Good evening, everybody. Bryn Griffiths along with Rob Brown for Rogers Place. Which game stings a little more, do you think? The Gong Show game? Or this one? This
one's not even close. This was on home ice with a chance to go up 3-2 in the series.
Yeah.
The 6-1 game didn't matter. I mean, they came back, won the next game. They went to Florida looking for a split. They got absolutely hammered in the first game, 6-1.
Yep.
And everything got out of hand in the third period. But they came out the next game and got the split. So the 6-1 game was ancient history. This was the game. This was an opportunity to put stress on the Florida Panthers, to force them to be the team that has to face an elimination game in back-to-back games. And the Edmonton Oilers came out flat. They came out flat in the hockey game. They eventually got to 21 shots, but the majority of it was when they pulled their goal. They went 6-on-5. It was a perfect road game by the Florida Panthers. So it's not even close. This one stings because they just didn't bring enough in a game that could have set. And it could have set them up. They could have been. The Stanley Cup was going to be in the arena Tuesday night in Florida. There's going to be in there because one of the teams was going to face elimination. The Edmonton Oilers could have put all the stress on the Florida Panthers on Tuesday night, forcing them to have to win an elimination game on home ice. And now instead, the Oilers are going into Florida with Florida knowing they are now one win away from back-to-back Stanley Cups.
So the question is, can they do it?
Yeah, absolutely. They can do it.
Based on what they've done this season, why not?
Well, yeah, the Oilers have a very good team. They're playing a great team.
Oh, yeah.
But the Oilers have to be at their best. They weren't at their best tonight. Now, part of it is the team they're playing is not allowing the Oilers to get to where they need to be. But yes, the Oilers can win. They will need to get saves. They will need their special teams to be better, especially the power play. Their power play tonight, 0 for 3, and a number of opportunities in this game in the first period, it's 1-0 Florida in a period that they dominated. But the Oilers get a late power play. They score on that power play. It would have been unfair if you're a Panther fan if that game was tied. But the Oilers had a chance to tie it. They got nothing on that power play. Second period, they got back-to-back power plays. Both times could have cut into a lead, made it 2-1. And again, didn't get anything going. So for the Oilers to win Game 6 and force a game here on Friday night, they need good goaltending to great goaltending, and they need their power play to be productive. Those things have not happened yet in this series. They've got average to good goaltending in their games. That's not enough because you're playing against the best goalie in the world right now.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's open up the Window Mart Oilers hotline. It's now open, 780-451-8800, 451-8800. Window Mart, your trusted partner when you need to replace your windows and doors. Visit them today at windowmart.ca. We'll see what people think. We'll take a break right now and then come back with more. Oilers dropping a tough one tonight here. And, hey, now they got their work cut out for them. But 5-2 is the final score for the Panthers over the Oilers tonight. This is the Oilers overtime. Is it the last one from this building? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we're coming back with more Oilers overtime right here on 880 Chad.
The power is in your hands and in your campsite with some help from the team at Riverside Honda and Skidoo. Until June 30th, save $500 on the reliability that is the Honda EU 3200 inverter generator, featuring fuel injection and Bluetooth integration for convenience and set it and forget it maintenance. Riverside Honda and Skidoo, in store at 15 Englewood Drive and always online at riversidehonda.com. It's your dream. Ride it at Riverside. Shop local, shop Canadian.
GCL Diesel is far more than just your experts in diesel fuel systems. When it comes to turbochargers and turbocharger repairs, GCL Diesel has you covered. From original equipment suppliers like Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holsat, GCL Diesel powers your Cummins, Cat, GM, and Ford engine with only genuine turbos and fantastic prices. If you've got an engine, they've got your turbo. Visit the turbocharger experts at GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, Canada's turbocharger superstore.
With Play Alberta's Sportsbook app, 100% of the revenue goes right back to the province, contributing to programs and services